Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cantinho Benfiquista podcast, episode 215, 0 points and elections. I think those are two negatives at this point. As always, I am your host. I am Mike. I am joined by Bill. I am joined by Kenny. We kept pushing this off this week. It was supposed to be yesterday, but then I figured there was a debate today, and it made sense to take advantage of the social media interactions from the Benfica fans to see if we can get them on here and join the conversation. I don't have a pre-scripted intro because I've been running around all evening. So it is what it is. But Bill, Kenny, start left to right. Bill, welcome back. How are you?
Frustrated, but good to be here. We can get into our therapy session as always.
That's a great way of putting it, Bill.
Kenny, how are you? Welcome to therapy.
Yes, back again, ready to let it all out.
All right, I want to hear it. We'll cover obviously the match against Newcastle, unfortunate defeat. We will cover bits and pieces of the Shavs game. Not much to say there. We'll look ahead to this weekend's game against Arouca. We've got a Taça Liga game against Tondela following that. And of course, I mean, the elephant in the room, the elections on Saturday. We're not going to dive too deep into it. We'll be releasing a video tomorrow with myself and Louise kind of covering it based on the debate today, which was about 3 hours and 40 minutes. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing. I watched the first half. I got to watch the rest of it after this. But for those of you who did watch and you're tuning in, let us know what you thought about it. I've seen plenty of stuff online. I have my opinions formed based on the first half that I saw and other things that I've seen along the way. But we'll talk about that briefly towards the end. But as always, join the conversation. Let us know what you're thinking and give us your thoughts in the comments. So I'll start. Talk about Newcastle. I mean, a defeat away to Newcastle, 3-0. A game where the lineup pretty much picks itself again. We've got Trubin, Tomás Araújo, Otamendi. Well, I guess there was a surprise. You had Tomás Araújo that comes in for Dal, Antonio Silva, Otamendi, Dedic, Rios, Barrenechea, Auschnes, Sudakov, Pavlidis, and Luke Bacchio. Kenny, I'll start with you. I guess, apart from the Araújo situation, any other surprises? And one of you has a TV in the background, so if you can just turn the audio down on that, whoever it is. Any surprises other than the Araújo situation? Or does this team pick itself?
No, I think you're right. I think the team picks itself. I think, outside of Aroujo, but that was kind of I would think that was a last minute thing, right? But I think this is the starting, pretty much the starting 11. I actually mentioned in our group chat while we were talking, the bench is thin. So there's not many options to begin with, a lot of young kids. And so this is kind of the team that we're stuck with. So I know we have some players coming back that should help, but I think, and to be fair, I think it's a strong 11. I don't think they're playing to their capabilities, but I think this is a team moving forward.
Bill, surprises?
I think the only real surprise was Dahl coming out and Tomas going to left back. I somewhat understand what he was trying to do, right? You defend with three, let the Dedic get more up the field and do what he likes to do. But I don't know if away at Newcastle was the time to roll the dice and start this and experiment with that type of lineup and formation. But outside of that,
most said before the game that when they started studying this match and analyzing it, that Dahl told him, I probably don't expect to start. So I'm assuming they saw something in their analysis that led them down that path.
Right. I just don't know if pulling it out away at Newcastle was the right choice. But
do you think we lost because I mean both the first and second goal come from that side. I'm trying to think. The third goal comes across, but the first 2 goals are from that side.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was because of that, but I think that our left side gave us nothing all game, right? And it's not just Tomas, right? Freddie
Correct.
has dropped off a cliff.
Well, we talked about that last week, right? Even
Like
with Dahl
Freddie,
and Freddie.
yeah. It's just it didn't help, right? Having the argument, the things we always harped on the last few seasons was, well, experimenting, shifting center backs out to left backs, and right, we have Dahl, we have Obrador, like there's options there. Why are we going into a game and putting a center back that struggled last year with injuries and fatigue, having to play right back? Why are we going into the like this early on away at Newcastle doing the same, putting them at left back? Like, it just, to me, it didn't make sense. I get the thought behind it. I understand that they probably saw something and we're hoping to be able to take advantage of it. Given Freddie's form, I don't know if it was wise to take the gamble and play both Tomas, who's not going to give you much of anything going forward, and on the left, it's even worse because like his left foot is his weak foot, and there was a few times where he wanted to cut central and get it on his right, and he wasn't able to, and he had to play with his left. And there was a few of them where, like, I don't remember if it was the first goal, he played it to Freddie.
Freddie
Freddie
he should have
was
played it
trying
back
to
to the
flick it out.
goalie.
Right, and he should have played it back to the goalie. And that's the thing. It's his uncertainty out on the left of, do I play safe, play back, or if he's on the right, odds are he probably does the same thing, but he's able to play a better ball because it's on his right foot. And I just think that rolling that out, I don't know if it was worth the risk of doing it away at Newcastle. To me, that's the biggest issue. He hasn't tried it. We haven't, in any capacity in the game, played Tomas out left and tried to build with 3 in the back and pushing up. Like, we haven't done it all. And then to roll it out away at Newcastle, to me, I question that tactical decision. Outside of that, I agree with the rest of the lineup is unfortunately what we're kind of stuck with at the moment. But there's plenty of talent there. It's just a lot of guys are underperforming, and Freddie being one of the like keystone players that we've had the last like 4 years, he's like really down in form this year, and we saw it at the end of last year. But like at the end of last year, we chalked it up to him just being literally moved everywhere on the field multiple times a game. It just this year.
Would you have rather seen Freddie play out left back?
No, I would have
someone more dynamic.
I would have just stuck with Dahl playing left back.
So I didn't, and I had to step away, so I didn't catch the beginning of it. But what was the Dahl decision? It was just the coach decision.
It was a tactical. He had
said
said in his presser, right?
When they analyzed it before the game, he said when they started analyzing the match, that Dahl said to him, I'm most likely not going to start this game just based on, again, I think they probably identified something. In fairness, Newcastle made a change, but typically you'd have Elanga out on that side where Dahl is, which is, a north to south guy. And quite honestly, this Newcastle team is very much built for high press and very direct. Like, they're looking 2-3 passes and they want to be in the box, right? And we saw that a lot in that first half, but the negative side of that, or the risk for them, is the 2-3 times in the first half that Benfica was able to break that first line of pressure, we were able to get up the field and create chances, right? Bacchio had one down the line. He had the shot off the crossbar. The post. I think there was one more play. But that's the thing, is if they can get that press and they can get that ball back quick, they're literally like 2-3 passes and they're in. So the reason was, I'm assuming that's because, and then Murphy ends up starting over Elanga, who regardless is another guy that's just fast. You've got Gordon on one side, you've got Murphy on the other side, 2 dudes that can just keep running all day. And I'm assuming that was the thought process of, he said it right, when the team gets in a comfortable state, essentially we can defend with 5 because Freddie was closing in on that left-hand side with Tomas. And then the goal was when we got comfortable with ball, which we saw it a couple of times in the first half, the team would go into a back 3, and Tomas gives you better options playing out of the back with his feet than Dahl does realistically. So I think that was the idea. I wanted to get your thoughts here. Is the game in itself, I'm of the opinion that I think the result at halftime was unjust. I thought Benfica played a decent first half. I thought we had 18 minutes of good ball. I thought we had opportunities. We could have taken the lead. And then we got ourselves screwed because of a mistake playing out of the back. Freddie flicks it. I hate when we do that because, I don't know, we're always taught, like, when you're going to play a ball out of the back, you're better off it being long than short, right? You're better off it going long, and then you can get up and get your shape and your structure. If that ball's short, right, they're right back down your throat. And that's exactly what happened. And it happened various times, is that flicks too short. Pavlidis isn't able to get back to it. Right now he's chasing, and then the team gets caught in transition because they're coming up, ball's right back down your throat, and you end up getting screwed. But wanted to get your thoughts in the sense of, again, my opinion is that first half, I thought we had a decent first half. I think we could have very well gone into the break in the lead, the very least tied. Unfortunately, we go in losing. But do you think overall, I think the second half, once we conceded that second goal, which is, I mean, comical to say the least. I mean, it's super amateur, and we can get into that. But do you think a big piece of this puzzle, and I know it's been a topic of conversation for many years now, but the level of intensity that a club like Newcastle puts into the game, right? Just because of the quality of players, the environment in that stadium, right? Mo said it leading up to the game. That's one of those stadiums that the fans play, quotes, for the team, right? And I think we saw it as the second half went on, that just Portuguese teams aren't used to that level of intensity all game, right? Where you play 95% of the Portuguese league against teams that basically shut themselves down in their back, defensive line, and you just keep knocking at the door trying to get in. But it's always side to side, side to side. You're looking for that penetration. Premier League, week in and week out, it's go, right? Intensity, physicality, up and down. So did you guys feel the same way in the sense, I'll start with you, Kenny. Did you feel the same way in the sense of that difference in intensity, them being more used to it than, Portuguese teams and most European teams, to be honest, it ends up playing a huge part, especially in the later stages of a match?
100%. It drains your battery. And it's frustrating because I expect Benfica to still have that. Like, you're going into a Champions League match, you've got to be able to turn that switch on, and I know you're used to possession and playing half the field most of the time in Portuguese League, but it's a Champions League game. Like, you have to be able to flip that switch, and we constantly just don't see it, and it's the most frustrating thing with Benfica. Now, I agree with you. First 20 minutes, things could have changed. I mean, if Luka Bacchio scores that goal, and that the goalie gets a hand on it, but if he scores that goal, who's to say it's not a whole different game, right? They're gonna get stretched even more
because we're more comfortable at that point.
100%. So, but it didn't happen, and you're right. Like, I could have, after those first 20 minutes, like right before the goal, it happened a few times. Like, we conceded that goal based off of that stupid little lob pass. We get pinched into a corner, and then we give out that lob pass to the middle of the field. And I already had seen it a couple of times. I'm like, this is so frustrating to see us giving up the ball this way. And then, of course, we give up a goal right, from that
32nd minute. Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating because you see when we try to press on them, and they're so easy to. It just takes an individual player to take that ball and dribble up, because that's we were trying the same thing against them, pressing them and pinching them into that corner, and Gordon would take that ball and just dribble up, or whoever was on the wing would just take that ball, like almost like hesitate, and then boom, and you split the defenders. You're into the midfield, it's open, and you're out on a break. And we are just afraid. I don't know why. We get to that where we get that ball and we're like we don't know what to do and just like chip it into the middle of the field. Like it's so
Problem
frustrating.
is we don't have Luca Bacchio is probably the closest player
Right.
we have, and only one that we have on the squad that has that ability, right, to get the ball and the willingness to take people on. And like, and I think Kenny touched on it last week. Our possession, 99% of it is side to side, just side to side, back and forth, and it's like no one looks for that line, the ball in between lines centrally. And I was paying attention to it. Sudakov sits in those spaces so many times, and he'll point to his feet, like he will point where he wants the ball, but no one is willing to try to play that ball in, because it is a dangerous ball. Like odds are, like if you don't play it right, you're gonna lose it, right? Like, but those are the passes that we have to every once in a while make.
But don't you think that comes with confidence as well? Like if this team
playing right
gets a run of games and you have that confidence, right, you're naturally going to be more prone to feeling confident enough to be like, I'm going to thread the needle and I'm going to make that pass, right? Whereas if you're not as confident, you're not on a great run of form, tired legs, right? You're like, fuck, I'm going to play it safe, right? And I think that's what leads to the side to side. In addition to that, and sorry to cut you off, I just wanted to say this before I lost my train of thought, is we've talked about this before, right? Like Luca Bacchio is probably the only type of winger that we have on the field of his characteristics. A guy that can get in behind, he can cut inside, he'll take you one-on-one, he'll go to the line, he can cut in with the ball on his feet, right? So as a defender, you're always kind of on your back foot, like which way is he going? Is he coming in? Is he going out? Is he going to get in behind me, right? So as a defender on that side, you're constantly, you and that center back on that side, you constantly have to be aware of like he's getting in behind. On the other side, right? If you're the right back, right, you're like, all right, Auschwitz isn't going to get behind me, right? Tomas Arouca is not going to get behind me, right? So I feel like in those positions, you can start to cheat a little bit more, right? You can either press up a little bit more, right? And you think about that, they kept pressing Tomas Arouca. Why? Because you can cheat a little bit more there, right? Because like, cool, you can have Auschwitz get him behind me. He's not going to beat me in a foot race, right? So we'll take that risk. We'll pinch up. And then when the ball's on Luca Bacchio's side, as that right back, and that right center back, you can also pinch in a little bit because again, you can switch the flank. Great. Get that ball out there to Auschwitz. How many times did he get it? And then he plays it back, the safe pass, because he's not going to beat you one-on-one. So as a defender, right, I'm happy. I'm going to give you that space. You can go there all day, right? Because as soon as you go out there, I know you're not going to come at me one-on-one. We'll all shift. We'll get there. Now, when Luca Bacchio gets the ball on the other side, then you're like, fuck, I don't want him to get it alone in the space, right? So they can compensate that way. But I feel like that's a huge part of why we feel so one-dimensional going forward, because as the other team, it's like, cool, if we can shut down this right side, let's make someone on the left beat us, right? And if they beat us, so be it, right? It has to be a really good play. But let's take our chance. Let's shut this down. Let's put all our chips on this side. Let them beat us on that side. So I feel like that's a big part of why we're struggling so much on that left side, in addition to the fact that Freddie is like a shell of himself.
Well, and I don't want, and I agree. Freddie has been a shell of himself. I'm hoping it's not like the demise of Freddie. I like him. Hopefully he can find his form back. But he has his limitations, right? He is not a Luca Bacchio. He's not a one-on-one.
No, he's a possession guy.
He's a possession guy, which is needed. That's fine.
Correct.
But we need to point out, and I thought Enzo had a great game, quarterbacking the game, controlling, distributing the ball. I thought like Rios was another game.
It was no show,
completely absent. Sudakov, I think, another player who was completely absent. And I'll say this: Pavlidis, yes, he scores goals, but there is something up, like a part of not feeling comfortable with threading that ball. I mean, Pavlidis also is a player who is receiving that ball, right? It's not just Sudakov. That's like Pavlidis is the guy that's got to get the ball at his feet. He is struggling to, in my opinion, get those passes and controlling those passes. Like I saw balls bouncing 5 feet away from him, which is again part of that not feeling comfortable getting that ball there because you've now seen it get away from him, and then they're just coming right back down on our throats. So there's a
I
couple of
would
guys, in my opinion, that also did not.
I would I agree with Enzo. I think he's started to fit in a lot more. I mean, his quality of pass coming out of the back is outstanding. Left foot, right foot. He's very patient on the ball. He typically makes the right decision. I thought Rios had moments in that game where he was able to hold up the ball and turn and get the team up the field. And then he got fouled a couple of times. On the other side of that, I thought he had a couple of moments where he made stupid decisions. He gave away the ball cheaply. One that comes to mind was in the second half where we were under pressure. He gets the ball at the edge of our box and tries to like beat someone and loses it. And then they come right back down our throat. So while I've defended him, and I think with time, he's going to be a player that is going to be super important to us. I can agree with you that if I had to weigh it all up, I thought he had more negative moments than positive moments in that game. I don't agree. Sudakov, I felt like he wasn't even there on Tuesday, unfortunately. Pavlidis, I don't agree with, and again, we've talked about this before. We're going to judge strikers on goals, right? That's just the reality of it. But unfortunately, I feel like because of the way that we're playing, I feel like he's very undervalued for what he does for this team. And there's one play that comes to mind in the second half where he gets the ball at the halfway line, back to goal. He turns and threads a ball, nutmegs the defender, and threads a ball down the line to Dedic, who then we get on a run. And like the fact that your striker's at the halfway line, getting the ball at his feet and threading a ball through to Dedic down the line, like for me is incredible because not many strikers want to be in that space, right? Not many strikers know what to do in that space. And he's got really good feet for the type of striker that he is. It's just unfortunate that I feel like he's running into the same situation he did in the first half of last year,
I
where
was just about to mention that.
The times that he did get the ball, very few times he got them in goal scoring spaces. And then in the second half of the season, we started to see a little bit more of him and getting more opportunities in those spaces. Now, sometimes does it feel like he has to miss 4 to score 1? Yes, but I also think it's a confidence thing. So I don't entirely agree with your take on him.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the issue, like with him losing possession, a lot of the times it's his back's to goal, and he's not holding up the defender. He's working back toward our goal to try to get to the ball, and like the ball's not coming to him. Like
if he's holding of the ball going short,
exactly. If he's holding off the defender to receive the ball, he does that phenomenally. I think the issue is
he's tracking
the
back.
Balls aren't getting to him with enough pace, so he has to track back to get to the ball. That is where I agree. There was a few that were like he got there first, but it's a heavy touch.
He's a striker. He's not
sprinting back. Yeah,
soft-footed midfielder.
Yeah.
I just look and games like the Newcastle one, he's got to come.
No, it's a valid point.
He's got to,
especially in a game where you don't have much ball and you need the outlet. You need that guy to hold it up.
100%. And when you're already struggling, where two of your midfielders aren't really showing up for the game, I mean, he's got to, because then now you're just playing down a man because you're not getting him the ball. Yes, he's got to track back. That's part of the style of game that you got to play against Newcastle. Now, I don't know. I don't remember that play, but if that's the type of play where he's receiving at the midfield, beating a defender, threading the ball, like he's got to do more of that. I just remember more of him losing the ball when he finally did get it than retaining the ball and again laying it off to Luca Bacchio, who was being more dangerous. Really, Dodi was really the only player that felt like a threat offensively on our team. And that is just tough because, like you said, you can.
It's easy to defend that too. Like
it's easy to defend and game plan against that by just playing the opposite side of the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, unfortunately. Thoughts on that second goal?
Dude, I like. I don't know. It's so frustrating. Like, it just sucks, like, losing by that many goals. I don't even, to be honest, don't even remember, like, all the how each goal went. It was
The
just so
second goal was the
frustrating.
one that Pope throws a Hail Mary.
Oh,
And
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
That's literally
first of
just
all,
like
we got defenders
mental
are just
lapses.
jogging back, like they're not
Yep.
really paying attention. And then
Yeah.
Tomas or Antonio Silva, like
Silva.
his judgment is just fucking terrible.
There's a lot of people to
You're
blame.
so far away from net. There's no need to like
No need
jump
to
in and
jump
try to
in.
win that.
No.
No,
Just stand there.
everyone's
If he
complacent.
receives the ball, just stand there.
correct.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Foul
after
him.
that goal, the team, you could tell mentally the team
Oh,
just
it
fell
dropped.
apart.
The team dropped.
And
100%.
you know,
The
we
players dropped their head.
were basically holding on for dear life in the last. Let's see, they scored that in the 70th. So like the last 20 minutes, they were basically just fucking holding on for dear life at
Yeah.
that point. On top of the fact that it was just a super intense and physical match, and we know Benfica's physical state at this moment. So
And we only
We're
made one
a
sub.
finesse team. We will always be a finesse team. I don't see that changing. I don't, and that's frustrating because you need to be able to, turn on that light switch and show up. And you are, even when you get a guy like Rios, who you expect to be like the pit bull in the midfield, like
Yep.
it's like you put on the red shirt and you just become a different player than what you expect to be. But on that goal too, a lot of like everyone complacent, like just jogging back without even like
no
paying
pressure on the
attention.
goalie.
No
Nothing.
pressure on the
none.
goalie. Then Tony makes the
Tomas
dumb
Arouca,
mistake
then he
there.
doesn't shut him down.
Doesn't shut him down. Like he actually
He
chases him
he
down.
hesitated. He like hesitated for
Yeah.
a second, thinking the
Put
guy
a
was going to cut
body
back.
into him.
Yeah.
He thought
Put a
the guy was
body-
going to
like,
cut back to his left.
Yeah.
Dude, just knock him off balance. Like get
Yeah.
something. Like he just like gives him a free shot, and he did the hard
Yep.
part, which was get back in front of him,
Yep.
which he does.
Correct.
And then he
Yeah.
lets him take the shot. Like
Yeah.
put a body on him, put a foot in there, like something.
He hesitated,
just
unfortunately, and then he basically
poor.
just gave him.
Yeah.
And that finish is, I mean, in the bottom corner. I mean, you're not getting that, which is unfortunate. And then after that, I think the team fell apart. One note on this, when you mentioned the one sub, Bill. So Dedic got hurt. I saw rumors that he's out for 2 to 3 weeks.
That
In
sucks.
comes Ivanovic, and then, if I'm not mistaken, Freddie went to the right back.
Freddie went right back. Yep.
And then Ivanovic came over to
left
the left
wing.
side. 2 points here that I wanted to get your thoughts on is Mo after the game said, they asked him about substitutions, and he said that he made that one and he felt it was unjust to put one of the younger guys
I did see
in
this.
down 2 goals or 3 goals in the game that it was. And if we rewind back, I mean, how many times did we hear on this podcast? I think maybe all of us may have said it at some point in time, but Roger Schmidt getting slack because he put someone in the 90th minute or the 85th minute, or when the game was completely over and we were losing, or whatever the case may be. So in my opinion, I see this 2 ways. One, if he actually means what he said, right? I don't disagree, right? I mean, you're going to put in a João Veloso, you're going to put in a Prios, a João Rego, an Obrador, a Lima, right? When you're down 3-0 in that match, right? The intensity level and everything, like it's not really a good environment for someone that young to go into. But on the other side of it, the way I also interpret it is that I don't think he trusts a lot of the guys on the bench to come in and make a difference, but wanted to get you guys' thoughts on how you interpret that and the fact that he only made 1 sub. And it was
100% doesn't trust anyone on the bench. I think the only guy he probably does trust, and we've seen it, is Barreiro, where he's, and I'm surprised he didn't come on to play left wing. Because what was it, against Porto, he brought him on to play right wing.
Right wing.
Like it 100% doesn't trust the kids yet. Unfortunately, you're kind of in a position where some of these kids have to fucking play. Like with Champions League, so you have a game every 3 days. You're not going to be able to roll out these guys every 3 days. Like you're going to eventually have to play some of the kids, and we're going to see it. We're potentially going to see it this weekend where Dedic is out.
Tondela for the
So Dedic is out
next week.
So you either play one of the kids at right back, or you're playing Freddie at right back, and who you're going to play left wing.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
eventually, we're getting to the point where with injuries and just
When's Bob
our
back? Is he even close to coming back?
Ba's Manu's end
December, I
of
think.
November. Ba probably won't be till December.
So we won't see Ba until like January-ish to actually play.
Yeah.
So like with injuries and just the fact that like our squad is the bench is thin, you're gonna have to give these kids a shot. Like just
Yeah.
the nature of what we're at right now. Like you're gonna have to trial by fire with some of these kids, unfortunately. But either you show up, like the kids, you give them minutes, you show up or you don't, and if they don't perform, then
Yeah.
well, there was their shot. Unfortunately, like that's how it works. You get one or two chances, and if you show up and perform, then you get more. Especially with Mo.
Yeah.
Like Mo is known for wanting more veteran, older players. We've seen it throughout his career. Like he prefers the older, veteran, savvy player, but he does give kids chances from time to time.
I mean, he's given
But
João
if
Rigo an opportunity, right? So I mean, it's not like
right.
It's not like he hasn't given
I'm not
those
saying
chances. I mean,
but
Benfica's
it's
bench was
few.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 academy players.
Yeah.
Don't you have to have a certain amount though?
No, you just have to
On
have them in
the-
the squad, not
on the
bench.
roster, but not on the bench.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
I mean
got
there are some. I think there's some injuries too that have forced.
correct.
obviously,
I mean, injured. We've got
Manu.
Bruma's gone for most of the season. Manu Pristiani's gone, right? So that's even just Manu, Pristiani. That's three players
That's three players. Yeah.
Two arguably starters, right?
Mhm.
One definitely an option. So I mean that obviously makes a difference. I mean the likes of Lima is probably not on the bench, but then again, Mo said he likes Lima's. He's got characteristics like a Luca Bacchio, a guy that's going to go young kid, hungry. He's going to go 1v1. He's going to take his chances. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him against Arouca or worst case against Tondela in the League Cup. But Kenny, do you see it more as him having a little bit of respect, I guess maybe is not the right word, but for those youth players, or do you see that being more of kind of him having a suave excuse for reading between the lines and saying, I don't trust what I have on my bench?
So by the way, the women's Portuguese national team just beat
USA.
beat the US.
They just beat them.
Yeah,
2-1.
2-1.
Okay.
But I've started to take Moo for like I don't think he's mincing his words. I actually take his words for what they are. Look, I've never believed in 90th minute subs. That's just for time wasting. I think there is a part of Moose saying like it's not fair for me to throw in these young kids in a match. Like let's say the game was 1-1. Do you think you'd still trust to throw him in a 1-1 game? Like I think he is. I don't want to like put down the youth, right? But like I don't think he fully trusts them. I think both can be true. I don't think he fully trusts them, and the reason for that is he's protecting them by not throwing them into. I mean, the Newcastle was just fucking pounding us, and you throw in whoever.
Then Alanga came in, another fucking speedster. Harvey Barnes, he ended up scoring 2 goals.
Yeah,
Joe Ellington came in. Did Tonali come in?
Did he? I think he did it. Maybe not.
No, he didn't.
Joe
come
Ellington.
In. No, he didn't come in. Joe Ellington came in. Yeah, they brought in Harvey Barnes, Joe Ellington, Osula, Elanga, and Joe Willock at the end.
Like, not, and I don't want to not because look at João Neves when he came into the field. We all used to joke about like how tiny he was. And, kid had no body, nothing. And look at the player he turned out to be. Like, but I look at João Rigo. I mean, the kid's a toothpick. Like, and you're gonna throw him in there with fucking these. Like
his size reminds me of Thiago Dentes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrawny, little.
Right.
Yeah.
Tiny.
So, I mean, these kids are truly kids, and this Newcastle team, even their bench. I mean, that Burns guy. There was some shots.
Harvey
Barnes
or Harvey Barnes. Dan Byrne. He's a fucking big dude.
Big center back.
Dude.
He left back.
Left back,
and
yeah,
he had
fucking
he had
huge.
some speed. He had a little bit of like look
He's massive.
massive on corner
Yeah.
kicks. They were trumping.
Yeah, it was just just dump it to him and he gets to
Well, it's
everything.
him or the German forward, the striker,
Oh, Walter mate or
whatever his fucking name
Walter
is.
mate too. He's
But
a fucking
Dan
monster.
Burn is fucking huge.
Yeah, he's a
Every
scary
set piece,
dude.
it was like just find that big dude.
Just lob
know
it
who
I'm
up.
he
actually
reminded
interested
me
to
of?
know how big he is.
Who's
He's got to
that
be like
player?
6. Yeah,
God.
I was about to say.
Who was that other center back? Oh, he reminds me of. He looks just like him. Bald guy, old school player. I think he played for
Jaap Stam.
Jaap Stam, dude. That's who
Oh.
he reminded me of.
Dude, imagine a left back 6'6".
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
He get up and down that line too.
that's unheard of for a left back. I want to say he might have been was he a center back originally?
he was a
want to
center
say he
back.
was a center back when he was at Brighton. I could be wrong, but I want to say he was a center back. But again, 6'6" for a left back is incredible.
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
big.
sorry, but like, yeah, these kids aren't ready for matches like that. I think Moo is protecting them, and in a form of protecting them, doesn't kind of trust him a little bit.
Yeah, and me saying he doesn't trust him isn't to diminish the quality. Like the kids might have potential. I just don't think he trusts them, like because of their youth, inexperience, to put them in, like Kenny said, in that type of situation.
I take Moo for his word. I'm starting to learn that. Like, I know he's a guy like a lot of mind games or whatever, but like,
correct.
I don't know. I still feel like his mind games, like he's pretty blunt, and he's kind of followed through with like what he's kind of saying. Like he hasn't really. I don't know. I take him for what it is.
I'm still struggling with this new version of Jose Mourinho. That's why, like everything he says, I'm always trying to think like, is he being legitimate or is there like read between the lines here, right? So like I'm just never sure, like because I'm so used to the Mourinho of the mind games, and he just says shit just to say it, right? Gets you thinking, and now you're like, well, fuck, what did he mean, right? So it's like, but one thing I wanted to ask you guys is, do you think the writing is on the wall for Sheldrup?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Or could it be a mind game where he's trying to test him, see if he can?
Watch there you go.
Watch him start the next game, right? Like, all right, let's see.
Well, he did it. So what was it? The Shavs game was the game after, the international break where he made those comments, and then international break, and then AS made some comments, and the national team manager made some comments, and then he only played like 20-30 minutes, right, in the Shavs game. He came on at the end.
He came on at halftime for Jean Rego.
Was it
he got
half?
the yellow card? Yeah, halftime.
Yeah. And he didn't look very good.
No.
So,
and he's one of those guys.
I mean, he's running out of options.
He is, but it looks like he prefers João Rego on that wing than him. Well, I guess did he play? Yeah, he played. No, yeah, because João Rego played with Luca Bacchio. He played on the left. Yeah. So I mean, it looks like I would have to guess he probably prefers Rego, and he also said Sheldrup isn't a guy that's gonna, he's more ball on the foot. Right. If you're looking for someone that's going to give you the up and down and the intensity on both sides of the ball, that's not him. And he said that publicly.
Yeah.
So again, is he sending a message to Sheldrup and being like, listen, if you want to play with me, like you're going to, and we know Mourinho is very much a guy who likes organization in his teams, right? He's very much we need to defend in an organized fashion in order to allow us to attack well. Right. And if you're a guy, and Luca Bacchio is really the only exception here, right? He's really the only guy that doesn't really defend, but you can compensate for certain things like that. But Luca Bacchio gives you something that Sheldrup doesn't, right? If you've got that cutting edge where it's like, okay, he's not going to defend as much, but he's going to get in behind. He's going to take guys on. He's going to create chaos going forward. Whereas if you're Sheldrup, where you're more of a finesse guy, okay, I'm not going to really defend with much intensity. Going forward, I don't really beat many guys 1v1, right, in space, right? So it's like, well, you can't be that exception if you're not going to make that difference going forward. Then you need to work both sides of the ball, right? And I think that's so. Again, it's me trying to figure out: is he sending a message to him, or is he really just like, you're not my style of player, and is he going to see the door in January? It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he's one of those players that we all hoped would develop into like a very good player, and he just hasn't
And
taken.
he could still, right? He's still
He's
I'm
young.
just saying at Benfica, he hasn't taken that next
Correct.
step, and it's not for lack of opportunity
of
because he got a
opportunities, correct.
ton.
Right.
He's had a lot, and he hasn't taken that next leap. Like he won the spot last year, right, with the toss of the Liga final.
Yeah, against
against
Sporting,
Played
semi-final
more-
and final.
Right, played well, played more after that,
Yep.
and then never really took that next.
No.
Like performance-wise, we never saw anything close to that to the final performance.
Yeah.
And then to start this year again, it looked like it was his spot, and he never really took that next leap to kind of lock that down. And again, plenty of chances. And
Yeah, we saw some glimpses of that he has.
Yeah,
he
correct.
has it right. He just hasn't been able to pull it all together. I think till the market opens, I just because of the sheer lack of depth, I think he'll still get some opportunities before that, and we'll see. I mean, will this kind of fire him up? Will it change him? I don't know, but regardless, I think we're gonna be looking for someone for that wing.
If comments like that from a manager like Mourinho isn't gonna light a fire under your ass, then you have issues as a player. Like if that's not gonna get you motivated to want to go out and like fuck this, I'm gonna prove this fucking guy wrong. There's something wrong with you as a player. Like if you can't get kind of amped up a bit and try to prove someone wrong, especially someone like Mourinho, then unfortunately, I don't know if Andreas has that in him.
It's unfortunate. I wanted to get your thoughts on Champions League hopes, so let me bring this up here. So looking at the standings now, I mean, at the top we've got, and before I go into this, there's quite a bit of you watching. Everyone must be so intrigued by our commentary that they don't want to join us, and we must be saying everything that they're thinking. But there are a lot of you watching, so if you are, let us know you're on the other side. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your opinions. We appreciate it. Estejam a ver em português, também podem participar em português, por isso estejam à vontade de deixar os vossos comentários em português, que todos nós percebemos. Por isso, juntem-se à conversa. Top of the bracket, I mean, PSG, Bayern Munich, Inter, Arsenal, and Real Madrid, 3 for 3. Going down here towards the bottom, we've got...
Keep scrolling, Mike.
But there's a lot of players. There's a lot of teams on 3 right now.
Correct. So that's what I was going to say,
hopeful.
Right? So there's five games left. The last spot right now is on 3 points. Union Saint-Gilloise, which is where Ivanovic came from. And they haven't had, I can't remember who they beat, but I know they got smashed or the last game. I can't remember how they did this week. I think they lost this week. But what I'm getting at is,
where's Karabakh?
Karabak's, they're up here somewhere. 13th.
To
They lost against Atleti, which is a tough game. They were up 1-0.
2 wins.
I was watching it. Yeah, I was watching the game against Atleti
we're
this
not
week.
the only losers.
No. So right now, 3 points is the last spot. 5 games left. If you had to guess, and I'm looking at this and I'm guessing, I can't remember what. I don't know if Bill, if you want to see if you could pull it up, but I don't remember what the last spot in the group stage format last year was for points. I want to say it was around 10, 11. So I'm thinking 5 games left. I'm thinking like 10 points will probably get you in here, the knockout unseeded spots. Benfica's obviously currently on 0. Only worse is Ajax, who I don't know what the hell happened to them, but they are falling apart. They got battered this week again.
So last season, the last spot was Club Brugge, and they finished on...
I want to say it was like 10.
They finished on 11 points.
11, okay. So 10, 11, I think should be enough. There's 15 points at play for Benfica, right? We're currently, the goal difference is what sucks, right? But the way I look at it is we've also played Newcastle and Chelsea away, okay? Upcoming games, we've got Leverkusen next at home. We've got Ajax away, Napoli at home, Juventus away, and then the last game, Real Madrid at home. And you would expect Real Madrid will have this buttoned up well in advance of that last game. It's at home. Hopefully we are in a much better spot before we get to that game too, so it puts a little bit of less pressure on us. But what do you think our chances are here, Kenny? I'll start with you. With 15 points at play, where we are today and what's coming up. And again, let's assume that 10, 11 points should get you into this bucket. What's your level of confidence?
Yeah, unfortunately, I ride the Benfica roller coaster as the highs and the dips, and right now I'm in the dips, and I just don't see us getting through. We'll probably, I mean, I'm sure we'll win a game, but we might draw.
Just one?
I think we might only get a one win. We might draw.
What?
Fuck.
We might draw 2 or 3. I just don't see us. I just don't see the team the way they're performing, and with the lack of depth in all the games. Like I feel like we're gonna run out of steam. I mean, we're already running on fumes. To let's be fair. I mean, we're just one. Ajax is historically doing bad, and we're just one position ahead of them, right? So like, I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
I think the little bright spot in what's left is we're playing Ajax, who's in this bottom half as well.
Yeah,
we're playing Leverkusen, who's in this bottom half as well.
And Leverkusen just got fucking smashed.
Right, and we're playing Juventus, which is also in this bottom half as well. I think they're just out of it.
Juventus is out of it,
yeah.
And Napoli's just in
Napoli's just so like that's like the only. I'm with Kenny. It doesn't look very good, but the only like bright spot is that what we have coming up. They're not playing very well either, and they're struggling. Which again is the only little bright spot. And like Mike said, hopefully by the time we get to Real Madrid,
but if you look at if you look at the games we've played. Right. Of the games we played, we had Karabag at home, which is hands down somebody has. There's no excuse for that, right? You have to win that game. But Chelsea away, Newcastle away, Leverkusen at home, Ajax away, Napoli at home, Juventus away, and Real Madrid at home. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I think we've already played the 2 arguably toughest games in our draw.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Newcastle away.
My thing is, like, if we were, I just don't think we're playing well enough. Like,
agreed.
Yes, these teams are struggling, but we are struggling as well.
Exactly. I agree with that.
I could see if, like, look, Karabag was a complete disaster. And I think that's the game. Those are the 3 points that we're going to look back. Because I think we'll get maybe 9, maybe 8 or 9. And those 3 points are going to be like, fuck, those are the 3 points we needed. But I just don't. If we had if we had put in, you know, it was a close game against Newcastle. We played well. We lost a 1-goal game. Or who else did we play? Who was the first game we played?
Chelsea.
We
another game that we shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, that I guess I think that was probably, of all the Champions League games, that was probably our best one so far.
Yeah,
that we played in. But
full 90 minutes
overall. Karabag, we played good until we fucking imploded after being up 2-0.
Yeah, I'm saying start to finish. So like, I don't know. Look, this could turn around. You're right. I mean, the points are there. We could win all of them. Like but I just don't see the way our form is. You know, even like with all the behind the scenes stuff with the elections and the coach changing hands, and you know, I still have yet to feel 100% confident in what Moo's doing. I just don't see us putting it together in time. You know, maybe we do pull off a win at Real Madrid, but it will be too late. You know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe that will be the moral victory.
It's a home game against Real Madrid.
But like that maybe the season's done for both. Like, Real Madrid's already through, we're already out, but we still put in a great effort. Like, maybe that will be that moral victory that like pushes us into the second half of the season domestically. But I just don't see us getting through. And I feel like the reason why were those 3 points I mean, those were a must for the
100%.
Agreed.
teams that we're playing.
I want to run through the games that we have left and get your thoughts on how you think it'll play out. So Bill,
Yeah, do the
Mike,
math.
and Kenny. And those of you who are watching, let us know what you think as well for the upcoming games. I'll run through them. But quickly, Andrew Quadros says, "Hola amigos, good conversation, boys." See, I told you guys, we're saying everything right, that no one needed to interject or, or say anything different. He said, "Keep scrolling. We'll maybe find Benfica at the end of the show." Yeah, I had to scroll all the way to the bottom. Jay says, "We're live at the P Club Milford. Hello to everyone." Jay, let us know what they're thinking. Mike De Silva says, "We'll get 8 points." I don't think that'll be enough.
No.
Andrew says, "We win 3 of the 5
Says
plus
no
another
way.
tie or 2." And Andrew says Real will still want to win that last game. Table positioning matters. It's possible they haven't guaranteed a top 8 spot. I mean, right now they're 5th, 3 for 3. I'd be surprised if by that time they're not locked into the top 8.
This year, unlike last year, there are no heavy hitters that struggled to start the campaign. Like last year, you had PSG, City.
Correct.
So like even like Liverpool last year came first and ended up getting
Fair.
a horrible draw. This year, those top hitters are all starting well, all at the top
Yeah,
of the table.
that's a
So
good
the way it's
point.
going to
Yeah,
shake out, the bottom like those top guys are odds are they're going to get a very favorable draw. So come
yeah.
the end, there's a
But
good
a few of
chance you're
them,
going to see teams
a
resting.
few of them play each other, don't they?
There's some big games, yeah. But I'm
Yeah.
saying at this point, last Champions League, City were
Yeah,
in the bottom
City.
half, but we're like out of it. Real were out of it.
PSG,
PSG was
Real.
like,
Yep.
so like
Yeah,
coming first and coming in the top 5 wasn't as comfy as it's
correct.
shaping up to be right now.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at the elimination places right now, you've got Juventus, Bodo Glimt, Monaco, Slavia Praga, Pafos, Leverkusen, Villarreal, Copenhagen,
Yeah.
Olympiacos, Kairat Almaty, Benfica, and Ajax, right? And then the unseeded, you've got Atalanta, Marseille, Athletic Club Brugge, Athletic Club, Frankfurt, Napoli Union, Saint-Gilloise, right? Which, again, there's no big, I mean, apart from Atleti, you don't have big hitters in there. The seeded teams, you've got Barca, Liverpool, Chelsea. Then you got Sporting Karabakh, Galatasaray, Tottenham, and PSV. And in the top 8, I would say the only one in this top 8 that I don't think will finish, or the 2 that I don't think will finish there, if the results go as you would expect, are Dortmund and Newcastle. You've got PSG, you've got Bayern, Inter, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Dortmund, City, and Newcastle. I think if the big names play as you would expect them, I think Newcastle and Dortmund fall out of that top 8, but they fall into the seeded, right? But again, like Bill said, there's no big names outside of the looking on the other side of the fence, looking in like they were last year, where it's like, I mean, we all talked about it, like, fuck, PSG is not going to get qualified. Oh, Man City's not going to get qualified, right? And then all of a sudden they crept in and just fucking ran
PSG
house.
fucking torched everyone.
Yeah. All right, so let me run through these games and let me know what you guys think. So next game is Benfica Leverkusen on November 5th. So right around the corner. Bill, what do you think we do in that game?
It's home, right?
Yep.
Although it doesn't fucking matter because we're struggling in Champions League at home anyways.
And I'm going to say we don't have a president by then.
Probably not the way today
No,
went.
I don't think we get a president on Saturday.
I'm gonna say win.
I say win too. Kenny?
Tie.
Oof. All right. Then we go away to Ajax, who looks like they play with one goalie and one forward, and then there's no one else because they just keep getting fucking trampled. I'm going to go with a win in this game too. Kenny?
Yep.
I'll go with a win.
All right. Wins all around. All right. I like it.
There's 6 points there for me.
There we go.
4 for Kenny.
We've got Benfica Napoli. Benfica home. 10th of December. I think we win that game too at home.
I'm gonna say draw.
What is it, Napoli?
Yep, at home.
At home?
Yep.
I'll
Have
say
Lukaku versus Luque Bacchio. That's a tongue twister.
I'll say I just don't see how we I'll say we tie because we're home.
Okay. Juventus Benfica.
At
Because
Juventus.
it's at Juventus.
I say draw. Juventus is struggling this year.
I know that we have their number, but I think this year we will probably lose there. I think the coin will finally flip.
Okay. Bill?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think we lose.
All right.
My heart wanted to say
Juventus-
draw, but my head says I think we drop points.
Okay. And then last game, Benfica Real Madrid. At home.
Damn. I thought what I say 9 points. What do I have? What am I at right now? 4 still.
You've got 5.
No, you get 5 or 6. Yeah.
All right, I'll give us a victory. I'll give us a moral victory there.
Cool, get on you, dude. He says we're gonna lose.
Yeah, dude.
Lose and tie these games, then he pulls out a victory against
Yeah,
Real Madrid.
just because
Yeah.
we'll play free, like we'll be out of it. We'll just go out there and
Bill,
I'm gonna say draw.
I got to draw in that game too.
Yeah.
So Bill's got 3, 6, 7, 8 points. I've got 9, 10, 11 points.
full this.
Kenny's got 5, 8
7.
points.
8 points.
So-
yeah.
Based on both your numbers, I don't think we get through. On my numbers, I think we get through in that
We
last match.
squeeze
there.
in. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and for
Yeah.
me, you add the 3 points missed at Karabakh,
Yeah.
we'll probably get in.
I have 11. Yep.
3 Kettlebag points.
that's the
we get
difference.
in.
All right, let's see what Mike says. Mike says Leverkusen wins, we tie. Oh wait, Leverkusen tie, Ajax win, Napoli loss, Juve win, Real draw. So he's got what 1, 4, 7, 8. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yep. I mean, he did say 8 before. He's on point. Yeah, I don't know.
Is he missing a game?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he's got them all. All right. Well, I got it written down, so we'll see where this lands. But yeah, I think 10, 11 is going to be the sweet spot for us to get in. So we'll see where it lands. Gonçalo says, o que acharam do debate, Gonçalo? Nós vamos chegar ao debate daqui a bocado. Por isso, aguarda mais uns minutinhos que há muito sumo para falar do debate. Oh shit, I locked my screen here. All right, so for all of you guys, if you're watching, Kenny and Bill don't think we're going to get through to the next round. I think we're going to squeeze in. Time will tell. I do want to.
I think we'll probably know by next game whether.
Yeah, if we
Correct.
lose
Next game. Yeah.
If we lose the next one, we're fucked.
Next game. Yeah.
We'll
Next
know
game
in,
is pivotal.
2 weeks? Yeah.
2
Yeah.
weeks, November 5th. Yeah. Next game is certainly pivotal. So we'll see
be
how
able to
that
do
goes.
the math in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Tony the Animal says, boa noite a todos. Deixem like pessoal Eduardo. I hope he's talking about leave a like for us on YouTube or any platform that you're watching on. I appreciate it. So elections. I want to finish the last 10, 15 minutes here and just talk briefly about this. And I want to start by saying that us as a group, us, not just us, but the group of people that are part of Cantinho Benfiquista, we've got a wide range of opinions and views, and we've got people who like candidate A, candidate B, candidate C. So by no means, these are all opinions of ourselves. It's not representation of the group as a whole. Nor I feel should it be in any way persuasive of like, I think you should vote for X, Y, and Z. But like my opinion's my opinion, your opinion's your opinion, and I think I speak for all of us when we say we respect everyone's opinions. Benfica is a football club. It's not a political party, right? And I feel like it's very much turned into that, where it's like, if you're not with us, you're against us, and fuck you, and I don't respect your opinion or your views, right? It's just like, oh, you're not with me, okay, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you, right? It's just like, we need to get our head out of our ass and realize that it's okay for people to have different opinions than you, right? You don't have to agree, but it's okay to respect the fact that, okay, they have a different perspective. They look at things differently. With that said, I'll share my opinion, and I know Kenny hasn't followed it as closely. I know Bill has, but I'm curious to get your thoughts. And what I'll say is, I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. I don't think we'll have a president this weekend. I think the 2-round thing is fucking stupid. But again, that's just my opinion. We're the only club that has it. I think it has its negatives and its positives, but I think there's more possibility of it being a negative than a positive. With that said, I saw the first half of the debate today. I didn't get to watch the second half, which I plan to watch after this. I was pleasantly surprised at the fact that I had read that it was more so just going to be like, you've got 3 minutes to answer this. And it was more just kind of question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. There was a little bit of rebuttal and debate in the first half that I saw. I was getting messages during the second half, and it sounded like they went off the hinges in the second half. And it was like, we were getting fucking memes and pictures in our group chat of like Royal Rumble and shit. I was just like, fuck, I got to go back and watch the second half.
Yeah, send me the link.
But it's on Benfica's YouTube. So for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's on Benfica's YouTube. But it was about 3 hours and 40 minutes, more or less. But
wow,
from what they're saying, the second half was really good. My initial thoughts on what I saw in the first half and just kind of overall, I can openly and honestly say that going into these elections, I was more leaning Mentegas. I think overall he seems like he has significant know-how as it relates to the club. He seems like he understands the club inside and out. Obviously, he's a big Benfica fan. Just his knowledge of kind of how things function it comes through very well. The one thing I don't like about him is he just comes across as super arrogant. Now, I don't know him as a person. I don't know if that's just his persona or if that's just how he is. But there's just certain answers that he gives and kind of his posture and how he presents himself sometimes is just like, dude, like loosen up, right? And he made a comment today, and people have gone back and forth about it. He handed all the candidates a book related to a partnership that he's working on for Benfica to have Ciclismo back, and he handed the shirt and the book to Cristóvão and gave him a backhanded comment, which was like, "Tens a camisola, certo não te vai caber, mas fica contigo." But it's just like, just making stupid comments like that's funny. If we're in a group of friends, right? But like, I mean, know your audience, know where you are. I didn't like that. I didn't like his debate with Martin Meyer at the end. They each got a question to ask, and the question that he asked Martin Meyer, right? You have an opportunity to ask a fellow candidate and fellow member of the club that you're running to be president for. I would expect the question you're going to ask to be something that's a positive question, right? What's your plan for this? Or I've heard you say this, right? What are your thought process, or how are you going to do it? And his question was, have you ever stopped paying your cotas? Right? Like that in itself, for me, just comes across as like what you're trying to achieve here, right? You're basically trying to put him out to dry in a public setting, right? And I don't think he was expecting Martin Meyer to lie or tell the truth. He said, yeah, actually, I've stopped twice. Because I have 6 kids, and there were certain moments in my life where I needed that money and it made a difference. And fortunately, I was able to pay all those cotas that I didn't pay back, and I was able to recover my socio number, right? And I think that caught him off guard. But just like, I don't know, he put me off a little bit of this. Like, why would you ask that question? Like, that's just such a shitty thing to ask. Like, just because you're a member doesn't make you more of a Benfica fan, right? If you have to stop paying for a certain amount of time because financially you can't afford it, that doesn't make me better than you or vice versa. Like that, I didn't like that. With that said, I can continue to say that I think of all of them, I think his know-how again comes through. I just think he might be 4 years early. I think in the next elections.
Yeah.
I think in the next elections, I think he'll have more of a backing and probably able to make more of an impact. I think Martin Meyer, Cristóvão, again, it's democracy and you need to take every candidate seriously because they have the right. But Cristóvão just today in the debate in the first half, he's basically like the bouncer that's just there to fucking bully everyone else. Like, and you did this and you did that, and you said you're gonna do this, you're not gonna do that, and you said how are you gonna do that? Mine, we're gonna be European champions. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
You're gonna get
Klopp
Jurgen
and this.
Klopp.
And it's like, bro, stop. I felt like he was there just to like bully everyone else.
First off, it's a presidential debate. Everyone shows up, suit, tie, look the part. He's shows
got
up,
his shirt
no
unbuttoned,
tie, shirt
hairs
unbuttoned,
coming
chest
out of
hairs
his shirt.
hanging out.
He's like
dude.
from the north, you know, he's like a guy.
Shit.
Like, just wanna
All he
laugh.
needed was a toothpick in his mouth.
Dude.
But yeah, again, he's a candidate. He's a socio, and you need to respect it. It's a democracy. Every candidate they have their ability to be candidates. So, but 2 minutes into him speaking, I was like, all right, can we just save the time that he's going to use up in this debate and just give it to someone else, because it's just there's no value here. Martin Mayer, I've gone back and forth with him. I think he's probably one of today. I think he's one of the ones that actually says how he's going to achieve things. Now, if what he says is realistic or something that they can actually do, is a different story, right? But I feel like a lot of times the programs are, you know, we're going to achieve 500 millones de receitas, right, in revenue. Cool. But how are you going to do that? Right? Like, give me some context, right? We're going to increase sales on this. We're going to do that, right? And instead of just headlines, right? And that's what people want, right? Applause is, oh, we're going to achieve 500 million in revenue. Cool. But then when you stop and think, you're like, how the fuck are you going to do that, right? Like, give me some context. So I feel like he's the one that gives you more context. I don't think some of it might not be feasible. The thing that puts me off with him is every answer that he gives, he mentions his director desportivo, Jonker, who worked for Holland. He worked for Arsenal. Literally every freaking answer. So it's like, you know, Kenny, when you say hitching your wagon to someone, he is 1,000%. He's hitched the wagon and he's jumped in it, and it's just like, fucking drive me.
I noticed that when he talked in the other interview he did with, was it like B play or whatever?
On Benfica TV, they did the 30 minutes.
Yeah, the 30 minutes each. Yeah. He did the same thing there.
It's just every answer, and it's like if Jonker turned around and was like, actually, I don't want to do this. Like, he basically, his candidacy is basically toast. Like, everything he said, they're like, football femenino, Jonker, football masculino, Jonker. He's like, fuck it, this guy gonna do everything? What the hell?
But does that give him the credibility though? Right? I mean, I don't really know who the Jonker guy is.
I don't.
I mean, he's got a track record.
His CV is
correct. Like, he's got a good track.
Bayern,
he worked at
Arsenal, like
Holland national team.
He's got the resume. It's just correct. I don't recognize the dude either.
So Mayer is another one I don't think is going to be significant impact. And then you're left with Luis Fiera, Noronha, and Rui Costa. Rui Costa is what he is. I mean, we know who he is and what he brings to the table. Luis Fiera, same thing. We know what he brings to the table. I said it from the beginning that in these debate formats, this is Luis Felipe Vieira's playground, right? Like, he loves this type of, you know, he can talk the talk. He can, you know, he just says shit on the fly. Like, this is what he likes, and backhanded comments and stuff like that. And then Noronha is another guy that, again, he's got ideas. He's got a significant backing. I don't like that a lot of his responses seem very canned responses. He constantly repeats like the same comments and sentences every interview that he goes.
It's like like you said, canned
like planned.
It's like,
but
it's planned, and it's like clickbait response. Like, you want headlines, and then for Twitter and for Facebook type of things.
And then the other thing is that I feel like he's constantly focused on talking about Rui Costa than talking about his plan, his program, right? And he's always talking about, like, I want to talk about the future and stuff like that, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you have fucking 90 pages of just bullshit on a piece of paper that says we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, right? But then, like, what I hear in debates is like constantly like Rui Costa this, Rui Costa that. And I get it. He's the president, sitting president. You're trying to prove that he's not the right guy. And I'm sure he thinks that he's his biggest target, right? Like, I think if you ask most people, they probably say Rui Costa and Noronha are probably the ones that are going to get the highest percentage. So I get that perspective of like, I need to try to prove that he's not good so I can try to take some percentage away from him. But it's just exhausting for me of like, I feel like every other answer has him in it. And Rui Costa did have some comments today on him that kind of left him in a panic. I saw one specifically about, they talked about the people leaving the DSL, and Rui Costa was like, "You might still have the record. You were only in the DSL for 58 days," and you could tell Noronha, like, he was fucking, he didn't know what to say. you could tell he panicked a little bit, but I'm curious to see the second half. With that said, I honestly, today, the elections are on Saturday. I'm going to go vote with the Casa de Benfica in New Bedford. I honestly today still don't know who the hell I'm going to vote for. Like I said, I started off, I was inclined with Mantegas. I'm not so much now. I don't know which way I'm going to lean. I've got 2 days to think about it. Bill, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add. And then what I'll ask Kenny is more in general, right? You've seen what Rui Costa brings to the table. For someone who, hasn't followed it as closely, what are the, one or two changes that you would ideally like to see made, regardless of who comes in after the fact? But Bill, is there anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I don't think today's debate is gonna sway anyone's decision, right? Like I don't think any of the candidates came out of it and you went, "Oh shit, that's clear cut."
But did you
Like,
think there was a candidate that came out,
so
or one or two that you
for,
looked at and you're like, yeah, fucking not happening?
well, Cristiano for me, like that's
Well, I feel like
an
he
easy
was an
one.
obvious
Yes.
before he even showed up.
The one I
It's
was
my number one.
the most I was surprised. The most I
I mean, he's
the
bringing
one I was
Klopp,
surprised.
dude. How
Yeah,
did
no
Coach
shit.
have
He
to
mentioned
Klopp?
Klopp again.
Klopp
did.
is
He did.
coming.
Yeah. He said he said Champions League for the men and for the women.
8
He
years,
said,
right? I can live
That's what
with
his plan
that.
is.
Yeah.
At the candidate I was most surprised about was today was Meyer. I think if anyone came out with a positive from today, like a big positive, I think it was him. The only downside was the amount of times he fucking mentioned Yonker, whatever his name is, was just like absurd. But I think outside of, like, if you can get past the amount of times he said that dude's name, I think he explained a lot of what his proposal,
and he comes across
entails.
as like very formal and professional.
Yeah. So to me, it was a surprise because I think it was the first time I had like sat down and actually listened to him more than just little clips. My concern, so for me, I agree. I think it's the top three will be Mantegas, Noronha Lopes, and Rui Costa.
You don't think Vieira will be in there? I mean, only the two go
probably.
to the next round, but
Yeah, probably just consider. I mean, he has a ton of.
I think Vieira is going to get
those-
more votes than Mantegas.
You think so? Yeah, I mean,
Which
the way
is
the
scary
votes
to
are
think,
weighed. So
but-
yeah, because the way the votes are weighed, right? Like
Correct.
the socios, the
50
older
votes,
socios
old
have
people. Yeah.
their votes are worth like 50 points, and
Yep.
He's got those guys. Him and Rui Costa probably have those two, are going to have that big of the base, right? My concern with Noronha Lopes is the amount of people he has on his like direção or whatever. Like he's got a vice president for soccer, vice president for fucking foot. Like he's got vice presidents up the ass.
Yeah.
Like
Structure
and,
is weird.
Yeah, like you look at it and it's like at a certain point, there's too many chefs in the kitchen. Like when there's too many people, and to make a decision, you have to go between the manager. You have the manager, the sporting director. You have the manager, the sporting director, and then you have a vice president, and then you have this. Like there's too many people to like make a decision. There's too many ladders to climb to make a decision. I think can hinder your ability to function an organization like that. Like you look at Benfica, it's a club, but you're running it like a business, right? And when there's too many people, like you're not efficient. It takes too long to make decisions.
Yep.
That's my biggest thing with him. And I've noticed it with him. He says a lot, but doesn't say anything. Like
Who was that again?
Lopes.
Yeah.
Like he talks a lot, but like even coming out of this debate, I still don't know what like his like number one priorities are, his like vision. Like you said, today it felt like a lot of it was pointing at Rui Costa and just going after him. And I think I texted you that. I'm like, every time he talks, it's well, Rui Costa did this, the Direção has done this and this and this, but not, well, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to implement. This is how I'm going to do it. Like I didn't come away with any of that from him today. And
Unless he did it in the second half, which I'm going to watch.
yeah,
but it
I
sounds
missed,
like the second half was
I missed
absolute carnage. It was
I
just
missed
like
a bunch of it. And like the thing I took away from Mantegas today, and I was leaning him as well at the beginning. The comment he made to Cristobal
about
like
the shirt not
irked
fitting
me,
him.
dude.
Yeah, like I
Irked
just
me
think
so
it's
much. Like just don't like again, like it's a presidential debate. Like it's
But
not
he's like
like
one of your like if you were to win the elections, you're going to represent him,
right.
and you just publicly on
Yeah,
national TV
fat shamed him.
fat shamed him.
And didn't Mantegas in the 30-minute interviews, he started off his 30-minute interview thing saying
no direct, stop fighting with each
stop
other,
fighting
blah, blah, blah.
amongst
Yeah,
each other,
yeah.
like leave that commentary, like we're
Yeah.
all
But he also makes that comment after the week before or days before he made the comment about asking Mayed about have you ever stopped paying your cotas, right? So like he
But the funny
tried to
thing is-
publicly embarrass him, and then he comes out and says, "Oh, we should stop fighting." Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It's like, bro,
The
you're a
funny thing
hypocrite.
is his and in Mantegas is so they've released each of them released this big like book of their campaign, and one of the things in Mantegas's campaign is the ability to pause your
Cotas if you run
dues,
into
your
a
cotas. So if you run into like medical
situation.
issues or unemployment, like there's a way to pause it and you not lose your socio number
But
and
here
all
he
that,
was trying to
and not have to
shame.
pay back. And he's trying to shame the other dude for
Yeah.
having to not pay.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, like irked me. But again, I don't think I don't think today is going to sway anyone in any way. I don't think anyone came out of it. Any of the big three, to me, I don't think any of them are going to sway anyone away from anyone else. And the more I'm on social media and the more like just listening or reading what fans are saying, I'm agreeing with Mike that I don't think this weekend we have a president. I think it's going to go to the second round, and that second round you're going to get people voting, because I do think it's going to Rui Costa, I think, gets through, and you're going to have people voting for the other
For
person
someone
just
else
because
they
they
don't
don't
care
want
for.
Rui
Right.
Costa. And we're
And
going to have
that's
a
the
president.
danger.
We're going to have a president win with like 30-something% votes, because you're going to have you're not going to have the same number of turnout you had the first time. You're going to have less people come out, and it's already hard enough for people to get out and vote, and they're not making it easy with not having being able to vote online. So you're going to have less of a turnout, and then you're going to have people voting anti-Rui Costa just because they don't want Rui Costa, and not because he's not the best, like because the other guy is the best option.
Yeah. So, Bill, what you're saying is you're going to vote Cristobal? Is that what I got from that?
Yeah, dude. Just
Klopp.
because he got fat shamed. Give me Klopp.
Dude, he's
give
the
me
only one with
Champions
a
League.
real. He's the only one with a timeline of when we're gonna win Champions League.
Yeah, 8 years.
8
I like it.
years. Klopp's gonna do it. I mean, I can wait 8 years. I'm good with that. I've waited.
I mean,
how
you've
long?
waited 40, 39.
enough. Yeah.
8 years.
I mean, one of the guys in the WhatsApp chat was like, "Is there a way we can have all these dudes run?" Because like
work together.
they each had like I will give it like they each all had like some valid points and like some things that I liked, and I was like, "Oh, that's actually like a pretty good idea." Like I like
But
it.
that's not going to happen.
But there's not one person that has like the everything that you want in a
There's
in a
no
president.
perfect candidate.
I agree with what Gary said. Mantega's
he looked
to
nervous,
start
yeah.
did not look
Oh,
like
yeah, the intro.
Mantega's.
Yeah.
He just was like it looked like he was uninterested. He just wasn't. They at one point because they had like a ticker with the amount of time you talked.
Yeah, he had like so much
He had
less
like
time.
3 minutes less than everyone
Yeah.
else, and they were like, "Do you want to talk? Do you want time now?" And he was like, "No, I'll save it for later."
Yeah.
Isn't
Dude,
everyone
what the
else
fuck?
like 20, 30 years older than him? What's he in his 40s?
I think he's
40
probably-
something.
He's definitely
got-
the youngest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kenny, having heard all this, and I'm sure you've
Yeah.
seen bits and pieces on social media, I would recommend if you get a chance to go look at the debate from today.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know today, I mean, we've lived through different presidents. You know, we've lived through Luis Fiera, we lived through Vilarinho, Valias Vido. I don't know how much you remember from there.
Yeah.
I still remember the Damasu days, but what would you say are the one or two things that you would like to see changed or altered or implemented at Benfica, regardless of who the president is? And before you answer, those of you who are watching, I'm curious to get your thoughts on what you thought of the debate. What do you think of this election? Who do you think is the best candidate? Give us your thoughts while we finish this off and talk through these last moments.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to call out one of the articles that Cantinho Benfiquista posted. I don't know if you wrote it, Mike, or if it was one of the Portuguese guys. Well, it wasn't an English write-up, so I'm assuming it might have been you. Around, and if you haven't read it, go on the website and read it, or on Facebook or wherever. It's posted. I think it was on Facebook that I read it, but it's a great write-up on, unfortunately, the election is not going to, whoever wins the election will not change the Benfica mentality, because the fans need to change their expectations, basically, is what the article is saying. So yes, we're going through a presidential change, but really I think the fans need to change their expectations of Benfica, because we keep revolving not only with managers and players, but also now with presidents, and there's no continuity with the team. And that again starts from the top all the way to the bottom. Benfica is a revolving door of different players and personalities, and it's really affecting our overall, aura of what Benfica used to be. In my opinion, I 100% agree with that article. I did see the 30-minute interviews for each one. I think they posted them like 2 weeks ago. I did look at all of them, so I got a good idea of what each candidate is trying to do. I agree that there's 3 front runners, and I think most of the sauciers. I'm not a saucier. I don't have a vote, but I do have interest in what's going on. I think that the 3 front runners are obviously the incumbent in Rui Costa, the Noronha Lopes fan base, that there was a bigger showing the last time, or two prior presidencies. He had a good following. And then obviously Luis Felipe Vieira, who basically he's just running on his past. He really doesn't have, I didn't think he had much of a outlook into what he's going to do. He was kind of just running based off of, what I've done, what I can do.
Yeah.
Which to me is, and I was a Luis Felipe Vieira guy, I probably still would consider myself like grateful for everything he's done. However he did it, whatever was going on behind the screen, behind closed doors, the facts are that that was the most successful period at Benfica that during my lifetime. So yeah, I know what he's done. I don't know if he can repeat it. I think football and Portuguese football has changed. Will he have the same success? I don't know. But I think those are the 3 front runners. If I, going into it, when I saw those 30-minute interviews, if being someone that was undecided, I think the one that stood out to me out of those, again, putting those 3 aside, I think Meyer was the one that stood out to me as if I was undecided and I wanted to hitch my wagon to someone new, I think that was the guy that I was leading towards. He has the look. I like what he had to say. I don't remember all of what, some of the, just from like Benfica campus and what he was
Yeah,
talking
he
about.
wants to create a big campus for the Muslilads and create
Exactly
pavilions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of that stuff. Now that doesn't translate to like what's important to all of us, which is the football. But a part of me also, not just the football's number one for me. Obviously, that's I don't watch many of the other modalidades, but football's obviously number one. But outside of that, I want the Benfica brand. Even though us Portuguese, we see it all over the world and it's a global brand, I want it elevated even more. Like I want to be on the level, and I think I know we're a small league, but we should be on the level of a Bayern Leverkusen. I mean, Bayern Munich, and we're not. And I think we need to expect more of Benfica to get to that level, and we need someone with a vision for that. Now, I don't know if that model is something that we can do in Portugal, but I think that that's the direction that Benfica should be headed, to build that brand even more than, again, just the. I know we were in all four corners of the world, but they're small corners, right? And I think we can build that out even more.
Correct.
So I think those, again, football's number one, building the brand, getting the interest, working with the league to elevate, because there was a lot of conversations around. I know the TV rights, there's like 27, 28. We
Yep.
still have those contracts that are in place, but after that, what does the future hold? Like, Benfica needs a seat at the table. They need to be leaders at that, because we are the team that, however, I mean, as arrogant as it may sound, without Benfica, the Portuguese league is not. It's a fact. And so we need to be leaders in everything that has to do with the Portuguese league, to be able to build the brand of the Portuguese league as a whole, piggybacked off of Benfica. It's just a fact. It has to be done that way.
It has nothing to do with preference of club. It's just the reality of it.
It's just the reality. And so that's important. I think that is all very important. And so again, there is no perfect candidate. They each had a little bit of vision into how they would manage that. Again, time will tell what will happen, but personally for me, if I had a vote, I would vote with a new guy. I feel like we know, look, Rui Costa as a player will always be a legend. I don't care what these last 4 years or whatever it was. He just wasn't as successful as I hope he was. And he kind of did a lot, it's out of the Luis Felipe Vieira, coaching tree or whatever. Like he kind of stemmed off of that. I think it's time to put that era of Benfica to rest, that chapter, and start somewhere new, try someone new, go with a different candidate. Whether it's Mourinho, Lopes, Maier, Mentegas, I think one of those three should be the next president, and we should put the Luis Felipe Vieira, Rui Costa chapter to rest.
Okay, I'm going to close it off. I'm going to ask you, do you think there'll be a president on Saturday, or do you think there's a second round?
Yeah, so I didn't know all of the technicalities on the voting, but based on what you've said and how it works, I do think that
50. Yeah, so somebody on Saturday would have to have 50.01.
And because there's so many candidates, I don't think that's going to happen. So I agree with you guys that it'll.
So you think there's a second round? Who do you think goes through to the second round?
I would think it would be Mourinho, Lopes, Luis Felipe Vieira, and Rui Costa.
No, only two.
Only two?
Yeah.
Ooh. I think dude, the Luis Felipe Vieira thing might be a problem. I think that's the biggest. If he wasn't running, I think it would be a lot easier.
I agree.
But he's just going to get a lot, like you said, a lot of those older guys that have a big vote. I'll just throw a curveball and say Luis Felipe Vieira and Mourinho Lopes.
Damn.
I know. I'm just throwing a curveball out there just to be
Bill,
interesting.
You think there's a second round, or we have a president Saturday?
No, there's 100% a second round.
Okay, and who do you think goes to the second round?
I think it's going to be Rui Costa and Mourinho Lopes. I think a lot of the people that are Vieira guys, the older socios that are Vieira guys, have shifted to Rui Costa. I think all the investigations and all that shit around Vieira are that I think is going to sway a lot of people away from him, given what transpired when he got arrested and all that shit.
Okay. I said it from the beginning. I think there's definitely going to be a second round, which is unfortunate. We won't have a president till November 8th, November 9th, which is just going to create more chaos around this club. It's just the last thing we need. I do think that second round will be Rui Costa and Noronha. I do think that the numbers, if my expectation is right, I think Luis Felipe will come in third, and I think that whoever comes in second, I think the numbers between Luis Felipe and that second spot is going to be much tighter than a lot of people may think. I feel like it's almost going to be like the elections here in the U.S., where like second time around, not many people were talking about Trump, right? And it was, I feel like we could have a surprise in terms of the percentage that he ends up with at the end of the day. But let's just hope, for the sake of all of us and the chaos around the club, that he doesn't get into that second round. Because if he was to get in the second round, I mean, just the media coverage, the chaos. I mean, if the club's divided now, imagine what it would be like then, right? Because then it's like, whose additional votes is he going to pick up, right, in that second round? Like, it's just
Unfortunately,
scary.
That's my scenario.
Unfortunately, I think unless it's anyone but Rui Costa or Vieira winning, the chaos is going to remain. If one of those two win, I don't.
I think it
Unfortunately,
remains either way.
I don't think. No, I think if there's a new guy in, I think because the people making most noise right now are the Noronha Lopes faithful and the Mantegas people.
I don't agree. I think it's coming from all directions. I mean, we've seen all the fucking bullshit on the social media and on the news, and people talking about this one and digging up stories about that one. I personally think that regardless of who wins, there's still going to be division. It's going to be difficult. Now, depending on who wins, that level of chaos and division could go up or could go down a little bit. But if Noronha wins, the people that are against him are going to cause friction. If Rui Costa stays, people that have been banging down his door are going to keep continuing to create friction. If Luis Vieira was to win, I don't even want to fucking talk about
that's like
what
worst
that's
case
gonna be like.
scenario. Yeah.
If Mantegas wins, the people that are against him are gonna. So I don't think, unfortunately, for at least another year, or at least till the end of the season, depending on how things go, regardless of someone stays or someone goes, there's going to be friction. It's just, I think what's going to matter is if the ball goes in or not, is what's going to dictate how much friction and how much chaos is going to be surrounding this club. The less the ball goes in, the more friction it's going to be, more so if Rui Costa stays. If the ball doesn't go in and it's a new president, the friction is going to be there from those that were against the new president, but the ones that are with the new president are going to say, well, he needs time and all this shit's not his fault and stuff like the typical stuff. But,
new guy will always get a little bit of a leash.
Correct. So, so we've got elections on Saturday. We've got Arouca also on Saturday, home game. Hopefully we can win on the
Mike,
field.
for those who like don't know how it all, I mean, I think I remember the last time the elections were going on was like the whole day kind of event, but like, how does that, what's the timing on that? Like,
so the election,
I know there'll be coverage.
Voting starts at 8 a.m. Portugal time and ends at 10 p.m. Portugal time.
So it's all day.
Correct. And then all those, I mean, there's a lot of tables or places to vote in Portugal. For those here in the U.S., we've got New Bedford here in Massachusetts. You've got Newark, and then you've got San Jose, California. All physical vote. And then they close at 10, and then they'll tally up the scores and announce them. I would expect some sort of announcement for us late evening, maybe early morning, but I would assume if it closes at 10 there, you would assume they'll have the votes counted probably early morning there, which is still late for us here on Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be
all day voting coverage with the Benfica game in between.
Yeah. Which ends up working out because people going to the game,
people were complaining about it.
Take the opportunity of that. Yeah, I don't know why you're complaining about
it. When they announced the date, I remember people complaining about it, and I thought, well, if it's an away game, yeah, like I get that, but it's a home game. Like you're going to
be a reason to go to the game and vote.
If you're going to the game, you're there, go vote, and then go have a drink.
Well, regardless, in Portugal, they've got so many places to vote. It's just they did a good job about that.
Do you think that there's? I can just picture this, right? If I was living in Portugal and I'm undecided and I'm frustrated with Benfica, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give this game. I'm gonna wait till the end of this game. Say Benfica loses to Arouca. Oh hell, everyone's gonna go to the fucking to the voting booth and just fucking pencil in whoever.
But the game
See you
ends.
Later, Rui.
I think the game's at 4 o'clock here. The game's at 4.
So it's like 8 o'clock.
No,
probably if it's 8 o'clock there, then it's 3:40. Then it's 8 o'clock. 8:30.
8:30 there,
8:30.
ends at 10. So it'll be by the time
They
the
won't be
game's
able to
over,
vote.
The voting's over. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they gotta vote before.
Yeah.
So but that's a good point, right? Like, see how the games go. I mean, but you've also got the people that could go watch the game at a Casa de Benfica, and
then go
they're
vote.
already there to vote.
Yeah,
So
and then vote.
your vote here has to be placed before 10 p.m. Portugal time, or you get the whole day here.
10 p.m.
How
Portugal.
are those?
And it closed at 10 p.m.
Portugal time.
Yeah, because if they did by time zones, it'd be a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got till 5 p.m. here to go vote. So
Nice.
yeah, I'll be making my way to New Bedford on Saturday afternoon to go cast my vote. Well, gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure. We'll have either a new president, same president, or
president.
waiting for a president on
More to
Saturday. There's
come.
a lot of options. Yeah, to be continued. There's a lot of options. We don't know what the outcome is going to be on Saturday. Those of you tuning in, thank you for joining. Again, don't forget to leave us a follow, like, share, subscribe on all the various platforms. Give us a like on this video on YouTube if you would. We'd appreciate it. Those of you who were in the comments, again, I know there was a lot of you watching. Not as many comments as last week, but if you're watching after the fact or listening, join the conversation. Let us know your thoughts. We also announced February 28th, 2026, Benfica Festa. It was a hit last year. We'll be back. We'll be doing it again next year. Finalizing all the details, but we'll get that information out to Milford Portuguese Club. Shout out to the Portuguese Club if you're still watching. We'll be there February 28th. I think I said 26th. No, 28th. 2 days after Benfica's 122nd anniversary. So we'll have a nice birthday cake. We'll sing some happy birthday.
And
Hopefully.
we will have a new president by then.
And we will have a we will have a president.
Or
I don't
we
know
will
if it's
have-
new
yeah.
or if it's the existing.
Yeah.
We don't know that, but we will have a president at least by then. Gentlemen, as always, a pleasure. Be back next week. Tomorrow we'll have a video between myself and Luis talking a little bit about the debate. And Saturday, big game, big day. Viva Sport Lisboa Benfica. Have a good night, and we'll chat soon. See you, boys.
Good night, guys.
Later, boys.